Kia ora, everybody. My name is Gray. I'm the Kaiwhakahaere, the operations manager for Lakehouse Arts. And we are here at Lakehouse Arts, set up for potential interaction with some of the crazy paranormal activities that have happened in the space. Now, at Lakehouse Arts, we have our Lakehouse Arts staff. Some of them are myself. We have our caretaker, Graham Ashworth, who you may see walking around the space. Our toi whakairo, Ngata Nahirapona, is also in the space. And we also have, as a very special guest, Mark Warbank from Haunted Auckland. Mark is roaming in the space right now. Like, I'm afraid to go out of my office right now. But he's looking beautiful. Mark, can you hear me? Are you receiving?
I can, yes, nice and clear.
Well, I hope everyone appreciates. No one's ever done this before. We're like, number one, doing a Halloween live stream in a haunted house at this scale while live streaming on Facebook. We've certainly never done this before. So if the whole thing craps out because the rain gets a bit hard, I hope you are okay, and we'll try to keep it all going as much as we can on this stream. But I do appreciate you all coming in to some of our scary spaces. And I reckon I'm going to hand it over to Mark, who's walking through the space, who can maybe tell you a little bit about what's going on right now and what we've been doing today.
Oh, hello, everybody. What we're trying to do tonight is a bit of trial and error. We're hoping it works out. We're hoping you're receiving this loud and clear. Basically, we're taking what we usually do for the live feed and expanding it by God knows how many cameras. So we're sort of broadcasting wide and far in every corner, and pretty much every room in this place is covered. So we'll see what happens. It's all very experimental at this stage. So stick with us and feel free to comment. This is your stream as well, so feel free to comment. Any psychics, mediums in the crowd here, if you're feeling anything in any of the rooms you go through, feel free to direct me or point the cameras in that direction or anything like that. We've got a few hours here tonight, so let's enjoy it. Let's get interactive. There's a few people joining us here tonight on the live feed. Good on you for hooking onto the Zoom there. Wave to the cameras. We've got quite a few trigger objects and little experimental bits and pieces plastered around the place in the hopes of triggering something and getting something happening, some sort of activity. We've had a little bit of activity here in the past with previous investigations, from some trigger lights being set off to camera gear being pushed and manipulated. And there is a story here about a little girl called Patty. She's often seen walking up and down the stairs or up on the top mezzanine. We've possibly seen her. We've seen short shadow people coming up and down the stairs and walking along the mezzanine. And so we've seen short shadows, which is what other people do experiencing as well. And we've had a few other investigators that have joined us in the past too, that have all had experiences here. So that's quite good. One of them is actually a bit of a skeptic. Hi, James Gilbert, if you're watching this. He's with a skeptic, and he had some experiences that, he was good at explaining, which is pretty good. It's always great when that happens. So yeah, we're just going to roam around. We'll flick from camera to camera. Gray will jump in from time to time and give you some histories and tell you about some of the activities that he's captured on camera here. And yeah, you guys can just jump in anytime if you want. I think you guys have microphones and all that. You can just jump in there, and if you have a question to ask, either type it in the Facebook chat, or just if you're on the Zoom here, just yell it out. Ask some questions. Throw some directions at me. I'll be a guinea pig for a night. It's all good. I hope you can understand what I'm saying through this mask.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Lali, I used to work at the lake house. So do you guys have cameras upstairs?
Yes, we do.
Bathroom upstairs, huge activity.
Ah, yes.
several occasions where I had to go and open up or lock up or got called in with alarms. I would come in through the door, front door to the left, go upstairs after hearing people walking, and then there would be no one, and the door would open and shut by itself.
Yes.
Lally, I'm going to go upstairs right now.
Go upstairs. In the bathroom, it's the worst.
Yes.
Kept opening up by themselves.
Any of the team want to talk about the shadow person that's in that toilet?
Yeah, and we thought that a window had opened in there as well and closed at one stage. I think it was not the last time, but the time before that. We couldn't explain why the window was half open.
We weren't sure if the window had opened or whether what we had thought was a reflection was not actually a reflection, if the window had been open the whole time and it was simply a shadow person stood in front of the window, making us think that it was a reflection of somebody else and that the window had been closed, and then by the time we went to it, the window was open. So we've seen a couple of things around that bathroom. Every time we've gone, there's been something.
Can you move that camera a bit further down the hall? Because as close as the stairwell, you can't really see. Like, I can see someone moving in front of. I can see, someone is in front of the suspect toilet. Maybe get some lighting or something down there so we can actually see the bathroom.
Ray, can you turn the toilet light on there, please? Would that do it? Toilet light?
Maybe.
How's that one?
I can't see it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Like,
so you can see that window in there is the kind that you can push up to open the window. So it takes a fair bit of effort to be able to lift the window up and down if needs be. So what happened was, further up the hallway, we were stood waiting because we were actually, I think we were being interviewed by Metro at that time, and Mark was downstairs doing an interview, so we were all just stood upstairs just killing time. And I was stood facing towards the bathroom, and Sam was in front of me, and I just was looking, going, that shadow doesn't look right. That shadow doesn't look right. And I was trying to work out what it was, and I'm sort of moving myself to see if it's me making the shape. And so I asked Sam if he could move, because he's not offense, Sam, he's not much taller than me. So, and he moved, and the shadow moved, but it still didn't look quite right. And it was only maybe a few minutes later when we went to go downstairs that Natasha walked past, and she sort of said, oh, I better shut that window because else it's going to mess with all our humidity readings and things like that. And that's when I went, oh, the window's open, because I had assumed the window was shut, and that was a shadow of Sam reflected on that window. But now that I sort of look back, I think actually maybe the window could have been open the whole time and it was a shadow person, or in that time that it happened, the window opened. So, but Barbara, you had an experience as well, didn't you, with that bathroom? If you can pop on yourself off mute.
Yeah. I think it was the first time I was there with you, Aimee, and we were upstairs, and we were just sort of same thing, just looking around while the guys were downstairs. And I actually said to you that bathroom gave me the most uneasiest feeling, and I could swear I could see like a shadow in the doorway just standing there. And then, of course, both you and I were trying to move around and just see if it was the lighting, if it was light outside, the reflections or anything like that. But there was just no way. And then you were able to see what I was seeing, and I sort of explained where it was standing. And then when we went downstairs and came back up, it was gone. It wasn't there anymore because we tried to show it to Mark. So, yeah, it's there's definitely probably something there for sure, because for so many to be able to see a shadow there but not actually find the cause of it, something's sort of interestingly going on.
Yeah, I have a recording. My recorder malfunctioned the last time we were there with Metro. It missed all my intro, but it sounds like someone walking around and breathing heavily around the voice recorder. And this is a new voice recorder, and it's never malfunctioned for me before. I've had an older one that malfunctioned at Massey Homestead, but this is a new one with new batteries, and I've never had it malfunction before. So I only got like 6 seconds of recording when it should have been recording for a whole hour or two. And the interesting thing is, before I do put the voice recorder down, you don't hear me put it down the toilet, you don't hear me do the intro, this is Lake House, the date, the time, and then you don't hear me walk away. You just hear someone walking around and breathing heavily near it. And it was put on top of the toilet cistern. So it was not like it fell off or anything like that.
No, and my video camera was at the opposite end of the hallway, pointed that way up towards the bathroom. So it actually captured Natasha going in, putting it down, doing her little intro, walking away. The fact that there is nobody there at that time, the camera is on its own recording it, and you can see that. So it's quite interesting.
We can't explain. Can't explain that.
That has been the one place that coming up, I call them the back stairs because they're not the nice fancy stairs that you can see in one of the cameras. The back stairs, coming up those stairs, I'm fine until I just get to the point where you feel the banister rail. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, we've got a spooky, doll there with Mark as well.
We spent a lot of time trying to discover the secret room, the access to the secret room, which is in the top of Lake House, like the whole, what do you call it, the loft area. And so I spent a lot of time, and I discovered that there was a secret cupboard at the top of the back stairs that had been sealed off. So we uncovered that, and that did not lead anywhere. To the secret access to the loft, which is actually behind the fireplace in the Lake House shop. And I think that no one will take you there, and we can have a look at where that secret access to the loft space is. And they might even go outside and show you the secret windows where people have seen ghosts waving. But one of the things I wanted to mention before we keep going is this was my experience here of a ghost. I walked through this doorway, which is at the entryway to Lake Bazaar. I just about passed out with vertigo, like something passed through me. And that was about a month into me starting work here. That was my first experience of kind of really weirdly not natural force that was in the space. Now,
I used to see that door, particularly that door would open up a lot when I was alone.
This
Open and shut by itself.
Or this one.
Oh, shut up.
Someone has a ghost dog. Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Which door was it that was?
That front door. That was the door that I had the main keys to by the alarm system and all that. Yeah.
Well, we have video footage on our YouTube page. If you go to Lake House Arts on YouTube, you'll see that one of the ghost sightings that we posted on has that door slamming open at 2 a.m. and then slowly closing.
Yeah, that door would open and shut by itself all the time, and not by the wind. It would open and shut slowly, and it would creak as well, which would make it extra creepy.
Right.
But definitely that door has some presence around it.
Yes. Yeah, it does. And most of our kind of what I would call proof of paranormal activity has happened in that other hallway. Yes, it's happened in that entryway and around that space. I'm just going to mute for a sec. Okay, can you hear me okay? We're going into a very dark area. This is a very dark space. This is our shop area. I'm in pretty much pitch darkness here. I'll turn the light out. The lighting's very good in here, so there we go. There's the light. Now I wanted to show you, this fireplace here. It actually lifts right out of the wall. And there is a clear path right up through the chimney, up to the secret room. Now, the secret room in the loft of Lake House was home, I'm told, to a cult in the 60s. And multiple people lived up in the loft space of Lake House Arts and carried on their activities, whatever they were doing. This has been a house, so yes, I'll just say, you can open up that. Oh, and by the way, this is a great shop. Objects in my room. There's some beautiful stuff. Anyway, quick ad. This used to have 28 rooms. And so for about 60 or 70 years, it had people just coming through and living, inhabiting spaces, imbuing them with their energies for a long, long time. So we are very mindful of that. And with that, we understand that there is quite a lot of energy that the wood, kauri wood, has particularly retained in the space.
Thanks, me doing it. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Is everybody hearing everything okay? Cool. Lovely. As I said before, this is very experimental. We haven't done this before. It's we're jumping in the deep end here with many cameras.
Someone on the live stream has asked, Jane West has said, have you brought a ball for the girl to play with?
Yes, we have a ball. We have Mr. Smiley here today. Mr. Smiley, our boy, he's up there upstairs, and as well as a whole lot of haunted dolls that from the collection, from our Haunted Auckland haunted collection. We've got a few dolls that have been passed on to us by very fearful families through the years. So we've got a handful of those up there sitting around in a circle with Mr. Smiley, our trigger object ball. I'll take you up there now, actually, and see if anything happens tonight.
Would you do a seance there tonight?
Oh, we could do. There's only really one of me here, so it's a bit difficult. Social distancing and all that.
I think I'm going to go for a wander outside.
Go for it. Okay, so up here.
Sorry if I mispronounced the name, but also on the live feed, ECL Quinn says, have you ever tried using a Ouija board?
Oh, yes. Yes, we've got plenty of Ouija boards that we can use. Not so much with this team. But we do bring them out at public events and things. So there's our ball. Mr. Smiley. Various haunted dolls from the collection. This fella here. We're hoping to get some sort of interaction today. We seem to have been having interaction with an apparent child up here from time to time called Patty. So we sort of bring toys for her and bits and pieces for her to play with, and yeah.
So Jane is referring to last weekend when you were here at the lake house and you heard that noise like a ping pong or a golf ball.
Oh yes.
She's referring to that. Yes.
Oh no, I don't have a ping pong ball. Sorry, I forgot all about that. No, I haven't got a ping pong ball. But this is where it fell down anyway. For those that missed it. The sound went down there. And as you can see, there's carpet going down right down the centre, so we'll have to stay to the side. And last week when I was here, I had lots of gadgets going down the sides of the stairwell, so I would have hit those, but there was no ping pong ball anywhere. I couldn't find one. But I have had one in my kit. I have an orange one in my kit that I haven't really used for any investigations. I sort of kept it at home. I haven't really brought it out really. It's just got so many trigger objects.
So in the past, sort of in that corner where everyone can see is often where the chair is. That's where we've often set up, and we've videoed a few things there. So if you've seen our video with the dominoes, that was in that little spot there.
That was right there.
Yeah. And also with Brandon the bear. I don't know if we've actually posted any footage of Brandon the bear
No.
going off. No.
Let's make it go viral.
Yeah, I'll go get him. Hold on. I'll hold 2 steps. Oh.
I'm not sure if we actually caught that on video, did we?
We did catch the not the first time with the YouTube guy, whatever, but the second time with Metro, we did catch it. So Brandon is a homemade little contraption. He's just a little $2 bear that I got from the op shop. And I put a big heavy rock in his bum so he'll sit really solid and not move. And inside he's got, I don't know if you can see that, he's got a big antenna that comes out of his head, which is attached to, through the back, what we call a proximity sensor, which basically just looks like this. And we put a battery in it, and when it's turned on, if anything comes quite close, and you have to come very close to the wire to set it off, it will make a beep noise. And so we had it sitting on a chair, and it went off when we had suggested that Patty might like to explore the bear. And it always seems to go off when we're not paying attention. Nobody's paying attention. Everybody's sort of fine. You're not going to talk to us, and we're just talking absolute rubbish. And that's when these things happen.
Isn't that a normal child thing though? That when no one's paying attention, that's when they get loud.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so Patty has done that with pop lights, little pop lights that you push and then they go off, and also the little bear has gone off on 2 different occasions. Yeah. So Mark, so there's a question there about what gear is being used tonight. So there'll be heaps of gear. Mark has so much gear. So as he goes, hopefully he'll tell you what he's got. So he's got some infrared lights there, setting that red light going on, which is also probably a Mel meter. It's probably running as well. Is that correct?
That's right. You know me very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're recording.
There you go.
That's it.
Okay.
EDI, EMF meter, various haunted bells, trigger objects.
So your ED meter, that little box. No, that little box is, it gives you a whole lot of different readings. So it will give you the temperature, it will give you vibration, it will give you pressure changes, humidity changes, that kind of thing. And you can put a little SIM card in it and it will record everything. So you can cross-check it later with anything that does turn up on your videos, etc. The little screen you can see is just showing the sound as it's recording. So as it's going up and down now, that's probably my voice and Mark walking around being picked up there. You saw the little round white pop light that he had. And yeah, so that's probably the very basic equipment that we've got out tonight. And it's all quite heavily put in that corner around where we have had the most communication with Patty.
I've got a few new bits and pieces, but I'm saving it for when you guys are here with me.
Ooh, exciting. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I think you'll like the new ones.
And Gray's gone outside by the look of it.
Yeah, I think we were going to look at the old barracks at one point, but I'm just going to turn this thing on.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just doing a little circumference of the building. We heard this really strange high-pitched sound that was coming out of one of the walls that we were just investigating before. Nata Nehira was with me, and I'm just doing a round really to make sure there's no serial killers. So if this phone happens to just drop on the ground, then someone call 111, okay?
Gray, can you show the window for the upstairs loft from outside where they
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make sure I don't go out of the Wi-Fi range, so it goes a bit weird. But yeah, there it is. That's where the beast lives.
The first time I went to Lake House, when I first joined the team, I actually took a lot of photos up in that window from where you are now, Gray.
Right.
Trying to see what was in there.
We have had people investigate it to make sure that the roof is sound. It's actually pristine. It's one of the things that is really amazing, that after 20 years, it's like nothing has changed in there. There's no dust. There's no sign of life or anything like that. It's actually absolutely pristine inside in the interior. So, which is great. They really rebuilt the place well. But we have had a couple of sightings of people waving from the window, and things inside. But when people have looked in, there's nothing in there. It's completely empty. The field is a really interesting space as well. You know, this was all swampland. All of this is reclaimed space. And 50, 60, 70 years ago, this was the tip out here. But it's all been reclaimed, turned into a reserve. But when it was swampland and when it was estuary, there was reports of, you know, over 100 years ago, the nuns in the building that's across the field there used to row across the estuary. And since then, there have been sightings of ghost nuns rowing on the grass and making their way towards the buildings.
Well, people thought there might have been a Mary Walker, didn't they? They thought it was a Mary Walker going across the river.
I think, yeah, I've heard multiple reports. That's one of the ones I've heard. And one of the ones is the rowing nuns in their rowing canoe, and their rowing, you know, their proper canoe that they used to get exercise, I guess. But I'd hate to be in a nun's habit rowing across an estuary. It sounds dangerous.
I love the idea of nuns on a boat.
Now, you may not know, but this sculpture that was done by Bill Hayes was created is a fountain, which is in our courtyard at Lake House Arts. And it was created to be spatially the view of Rangitoto from where Lake House Arts used to be on Takapuna Beach. and Bill took a lot of time and care to work out what the view would be in the distance as he created this beautiful sculpture here.
With the question about how we debunk our findings when we do have them, we generally, if we hear something, we will go towards that sound. We will go and see where it's come from, if we can find anything that's caused that sound, if the windows are open. We'll try door handles, doors. We'll do everything we can to make sure that what we've heard is actually something that's explainable rather than unexplainable.
And we can be quite brutal, can't we, Barbara, in debunking?
Very, very, very.
You can get quite excited and then it gets debunked.
I know. It's all part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually the prep is really important. So we'll go in when it's still daylight. We will walk around the whole place and we'll get a sense of where there is already electromagnetic fields, where you're getting things. So from your fridges, from all that sort of area. So we know that we're not going to get any false readings to start with because we already know where those areas are. We will sit there for quite a while in silence, just listening to the sounds of the building to get a sense of what is a natural sound. And I mean, the team has been there so many times now that we kind of have a sense of what is common, what is not. And then we have a lot of cameras. We ensure that the team, every single team member is on one of the cameras at all times so that we can debunk, because there are cases where someone might be thinking something and mutter under their breath very quietly and you don't recall it. And then when you listen back to someone's audio recorder, you're like, oh my gosh, did we just get an EVP? Did we just get a ghost voice? And then you realize, no, we didn't. It was actually someone muttering. And we had an incident of that when I got quite excited. My camera had been at the top of the fantasy stairs, pointing downwards.
No,
and nobody was up the top of the stairs. Nobody was up there. We were all downstairs. We just come across something. Oh, James Gilbert was there, and we were following up with him. And Mark was recording us saying what we had experienced. And as we were talking, there was only the two women in the building. There was only me and Barb, and we were both there on camera talking about our experience. And at the same time, my camera at the top of the stairs heard this lovely little ghost girl giggle. And it was like, oh my gosh, we've got her. We've got Patty. We've got an EVP. This is brilliant. And it took a little while. And then when we actually checked all the camera angles, there was one camera angle that actually showed that it was actually Barbara. As she'd been talking, she'd let out a little giggle, and it correlated with the sound having traveled up the stairs and sounded like it actually had come from up there.
Hey, at least I had a cute giggle.
It was a cute giggle. It was much better than at another. We were at Firth Tower, and I had the same experience, only I'd let out a noise and it sounded like a terrible baby cry, but it wasn't. It was, I don't know. But this does happen, and so we have to debunk. And we have to check every piece of equipment that we've got. So, you know, if you've got 5, 6, 7 cameras running on a zone, plus you've got multiple voice recorders, we review all of that afterwards, and you cross-check it with times and stuff like that. So it is important to make sure that if we think we've got something, that we personally can't debunk it. And we're pretty skeptical, so we're quite good at debunking a lot of our stuff. And also we have multiple pieces of equipment running at the same time, so we'll often have 3 of those Eddy machines that have all the different things, and unfortunately they can't be calibrated, so we can't 100% trust the temperature readings and things on there, but you can trust that if they're all slightly going up, slightly going down, that's fine, but they may not all be reading the same temperature at the same time, for example. So yeah, that's hopefully. Yeah,
just on that, I noticed that we don't have the fridge running in the background, which we normally have. That noise, really noisy noise downstairs in the cafe. Just an observation. Can't hear the fridge noise, the compressor turning on and off, and frosting and stuff.
There's this thing here, which is how I around.
It's down the hallway, downstairs.
I'm in the Rutherford studio, which is one of our really big sightings. I'm pointed up into the corner here. Now, after we started doing Halloween events and invited the public to just come along on Halloween night to the dark space, we had an occasion to meet a young woman who had come and taken classes in this space when she was, a kid, basically. And she used to love coming and doing, I think, ceramic classes in here. I think this was set up for kilns and being able to do clay and ceramics in the space. When she was sitting pretty much where I'm standing right now, one day making her artwork, she looked up into the corner and she saw a creature sitting in the corner of the room, looking at her. I believe that was the last day that she spent at Lake House Arts. She came back for our Halloween walk around in the dark with torches with a friend. And we had a big discussion about it and about the forces that have kind of been passing through at the time that we had on video, etc., which I'll do a screen share a little bit later on this evening of some of our ghost videos as well. But she was very happy to be able to resolve that. She felt safe when she could walk through the space without that creature coming back. And fingers crossed he doesn't come back in the next 10 seconds.
If she does, I'll be envious.
I'll be happy to swap.
Just a question, have you guys ever met the woman around there? Because I had an encounter with a woman coming down the stairs from the front door, or a figure of a woman.
We have had people. We had an incident where we had James Gilbert, who runs the Strange Occurrences Paranormal Society in Wellington. He joined us one night, and he was sitting at the bottom of the stairs against the wall there, and he claimed to have seen a shadow coming right down the stairs, about child size, and it walked straight down the stairs towards him, and he thought it was going to touch him, so he even held out his hand to greet it, thinking it was going to run into him. And he's a skeptic, and he was very surprised by that. So, yep, it happens.
Yeah, I definitely experienced, it's going to sound stupid, but like not a Victorian, but a long dress.
Right.
Hair up, coming down the stairs one day, or it was a morning when I went to open up. And I definitely saw her coming down the stairs in like a vague image, and stopped, and it just disappeared. And I was not hungover that time, I'm sure of it. And it's her footsteps, I don't know, it was similar to the footsteps I heard upstairs.
Interesting. I think we need to start journaling some of these stories now, because we're hearing lots of stories, but we haven't got sort of names and any sort of structure to any of the case files for this place. So we need to start journaling them, I think.
I am happy to share my experiences when I was there, because they were quite vivid.
That's actually one that's verified, I think, as well by Maggie, who is running our cafe. She had a very similar experience seeing a woman at the top of the stairs and then running up and her disappearing. Cal asked a question, which I thought I'd just answer. Why is Lake House so haunted? And that's a really interesting question, and it's not one that I think that I can answer. And I'm not sure if we can answer that Lake House is really haunted. It just appears that there is some pretty cool or awesome or spooky activity that happens. But there hasn't really have been any sort of negative force kind of incidents that have really been sort of recorded at the house. There's no murders, there's no really fatal scenarios that have happened that we have in the history of Lake House Arts. But one of the things that I think is really powerful that Lake House as a building was a home to was that it was actually a recuperation fever hospital for the 1918, 1919 Spanish flu epidemic, where during that epidemic, there were about 1,200 to 1,300 people in New Zealand actually passed away. And so there would have been quite a few who were recovering here as a recovery hospital and may have passed away inside the building when that happened. But there isn't any particular record of that. And also, one of the strange things about Lake House is it's moved. This is not the ground that Lake House was built on. It was built on Takapuna Beach, overlooking the sea and toward Rangitoto. And it was moved here in 1995 and rebuilt and reopened in 2000. So Lake House is 21 years old, and I have a couple of theories about what's under the ground and in the tip and the dump underneath the house that maybe is finding a way through the heart kauri that is through the bones of the building and the kauri that is in the walls and around it, that may be sort of informing that Lake House is not so much a house of ghosts, but maybe an antenna or a conduit for them. That's my personal theory. So maybe they don't stay, they just pass through, like a bus station.
Yeah, it could be due to the tip, because the tip would have quite old artifacts in there from around the North Shore, because it was one of the main rubbish dumps. So like the 70s. Yeah, like the 70s. Because all that land is reclaimed. So what you're sitting on is essentially a mangrove swamp.
Yeah.
It's like Tough Crater if you go around. That's what it was like before they filled it in as a tip. So it could be artifacts from people who discarded things at the rubbish tip.
Yeah, and also there could really be like, you know, any kind of transformation, you know, by putting a structure within that space may have, you know, amplified. Maybe it's an amplifier for things, and those things, you know, they could be, they could have been here for hundreds or thousands of years, and what we are is the tip of an iceberg. I've often thought that, and you know, I think it's something that happens in waves as well. So that's another consideration.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not the building at all, and because it was a rubbish trip, it was a mangrove, but it was obviously a recreation centre for. There is a convent, and it was a home for boys up at Rosamini College, near St. Joseph's. So it could be just because it was a rubbish tip and it was a bay, no one actually saw anything, but now that there's a centre here, it sort of appears because there's more foot traffic, and more people are visiting this place than they did before. So,
do you want me to come back just for a little bit, because it was a bit heightened there while I was there?
No. I'm okay. I'm okay if it's just normal people that aren't bringing too many weird paranormal activities into the space. If they happen, they happen. We'll welcome them, but we're not encouraging them. I'm sorry about that.
I'm reasonably normal.
Ooh,
And I'll
did you
come
see
back
that?
from it.
Tyndall room just activated. Did you see that? Tyndall room just activated. I'm gonna go check that out. That's a scary face.
Be nice to Auntie Ellen.
I certainly wouldn't want her to haunt me.
She might do now.
I'm heading down to the Tyndall room now. It may get a little bit of feedback from my phone. I'm going to try and limit that and use the audio from the Tyndall room because it's one of the audio activated spaces.
Thanks for posting that, Aimee.
There's another question from Galaxy Note 9. This question is aimed at the rest of the Haunted Auckland team. Is there anything you're looking forward to next time you visit Lake House once all the lockdown restrictions are reduced? I'm keen to look into that bathroom a bit more and see if I can replicate. I'll probably bring both of my voice recorders this time and see if they both malfunction. I might put one in the sink and one on the toilet and just see what happens. But that was very weird, what happened last time. Anyone else?
I'm just keen to position more cameras. I want to have more cameras down the bottom of these stairs aimed upwards.
I would actually love to sleep in the corner near Patty on my own in the house. Like, I would just love to do that. Just put some dolls and some bits around me and just lay there and see what happens. Like, I would love it. I would love that.
I'm sure it can be sorted.
Oh, yes.
I've spent many nights sleeping on the floors in this place.
I don't know about sleeping on the floor. I've got standards. I'll need at least a little just.
Yeah, I can see you with a little pillow and a tiny little blanket and singing little lullabies to Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, I like Patty. She's my little bestie. So yeah.
I'm actually, ever since the first day I ever went to the lake house, and Mark knows this because I say it every single time we go there, I'm so keen to get upstairs into that room up the top. Every time I go there, I'm just like, I want to get in that room. I want to go in that room. So, yeah, mine.
The one at the top of the stairs?
Yeah, the one that we can't get into.
Yeah.
Every time I'm there, I'm like, I really want to go and sit in that room. Oh, what's Gray doing?
One of these days, you'll bring a ladder. You'll be able to get there from the outside looking.
Hey,
I'm dead keen too.
Oh, mate, we'll go sit up there and we'll just like chill. It'll be so good. I'd love to get up there.
I reckon Seance up there. A Seance up there, candle on the floor. Just.
Do you want to see?
I think.
Oh,
did it?
This doll has definitely moved. I've been here all evening, and this doll has definitely moved. It has moved, rotated, and moved. It's moved at least 5 centimeters.
Has it moved though from when it does it move animatronically, because if it does, it might have stopped. Or sometimes, because for those who kind of don't know.
Is this animatronic?
Mark, is that one animatronic?
It's an animatronic one, yeah, but it doesn't walk.
No, but see, sometimes when you set, because this happens obviously with us at work, we've got dolls in rocking chairs that are animatronic, and they do move when they've been going.
Yeah.
So, because I go through the house a lot, resetting sometimes and things when I do clean outs, and I'll find it's moved from one position to another, and that's just from it rocking or especially Bill.
Yeah, this one's quite violent and it moves quite vigorously. So
it could have been from that.
Tap around.
It's not moving.
If you tap around, just tap your arm.
Get in there, Mark. Get in there, Gray. Get in there and make it go.
I mean, it's definitely rotated, right? And no one's been in there.
Can you record? Can you play back the live stream of that doll?
At some point, probably.
At some point, yeah. So we can see if it moved or not.
Have we got any chalk or any flour or anything that we could put down around and under the doll to mark its location, and then we can actually see if it does move when no one's in there?
My son-in-law was just saying that. What if you guys mark where it's sitting and then walk out of the room and come back?
Yeah.
Gray, can you just tap the doll, tap its leg or its foot or its arm?
Because usually that's what I do. If I'm putting marbles or something down, I'll actually mark where the marble is on like a piece of paper or the surface or whatever, so I can actually see if it has moved while I've been away. Because sometimes you can stare at the screen for so long watching it. Oh, our little thing's definitely moving now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's moving around.
In order to move it.
Yeah, it's moving around.
Yeah, so I'd say her moving is making her move.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like on the base.
But we should probably review the footage later to see if anyone was there to set it off. Because if it was set off by something else that wasn't there.
Yeah, see, I never saw it go off.
So this room here is sound activated, so we'll just leave that one and see what happens.
So
Mark,
sorry, Anne, go.
I was going to say, Mark, it might be a good time to actually try and do a communication session.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say is you've walked in there, haven't you, though, when you were doing a walk around, Gray?
No, I walked in here because the sound was activated from the room.
Okay, I was going to say, if you were in the room earlier, yeah, because I was going to say...
The room was empty.
Okay, because I was going to say the vibration, if you were walking around in there earlier, would have also made her move. See, now that she's gone off, she's changed position.
That's what was going on.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. That's why I would say she's probably moved with her moving.
How close do you have to be to set her off?
You just got to touch her.
Touch her. So it's touch, not sound. So she's activated by touch, not sound.
Yeah, it's not sound, it's definitely touch.
But I noticed Gray keeps his distance from her, eh?
Okay, we're ready for a communication session. I've got the dolls here. I'm going to leave the area. I'll leave this running. Okay, I'm going to leave the area.
We'll leave Nursing Ed alone for a second.
Is everything in the camera shot? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Mr. Smiley on the left and your audio recorder thing on the right. That's so we can see that whole lot. Yeah.
And then we can see the EDI too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can ask the questions.
Oh, okay.
What?
Aimee, you should do this because this is your girl.
How loud are we in that hallway? Like if we're talking.
That's that doll thing again, isn't it?
Which doll's going off?
Downstairs?
Another motion text log up here. You're perfectly loud up here. You'll be able to see the phone when you talk. Just try it.
Hello? Yeah, definitely moved. Definitely moved when I talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see how loud I can get you. I'm tuning up.
Yeah, you definitely see it going up when people are talking.
There we go. It's a bonus go. Go for it.
Okay. Okay. For a spirit, this could be very confusing, having nobody there but having questions put to the air. But we'll see how we go.
You could be another spirit that
Wow.
just that I can't see you because you're a different generation.
That would be very interesting. Okay. All right. So usually when we're doing a communication session, we would start by introducing ourselves and going around so that we're, you're imagining that you're talking as if you're talking to a real life person who's there in the room with you. So you're showing a lot of respect and you're introducing yourself and explaining why you're there. And then you sort of gently get into it and try and find out about them, as you would with a real person. So you're not going to just jump in with the hard questions or anything like that. Okay. So I might get Natasha and Barb to jump in as well. And if you guys want to jump in and ask a question, that'll be awesome. So, okay, I'm just going to work out. I've got so many little rooms on my camera. I'm kind of focusing on that little camera shot there where we've got the dolls and stuff on the floor. That's kind of where I'm focusing on at the moment. So, hi, we've come and talk to you because it's been a bit quiet in the lake house recently. So there's a whole lot of us here, and we can see on the camera the hallway, and we can see all the toys that Mark has left for you on the floor, and we'd love to talk to you today. So if you're feeling comfortable and you'd like to talk to us, we would love you to use one of the pieces of equipment on the floor to let us know you're here. And we know you've used them before to turn on the light or go close to them so that the little lights might flash at us so we know that you're there. So if you feel comfortable doing that, that would be wonderful. So my name's Aimee. I don't know if you remember me. I came and we brought some toys and we brought a teddy bear and we played dominoes and you beat me at dominoes. Still not gotten over that yet. So, yeah. Okay. So if you're here, can you give us a sign that you're here? Can you please go near one of the lights or maybe one of the dollies and let us know that you're here, please? Last time we talked to Patty. Are you here, Patty? Can you let us know that you're here? Or maybe the gentleman who's down the end of the corridor. Would you like to come and talk to us? Mark, do we know why there's a flashing light on the stairs? On the fancy stairs?
I'll go check it out.
Spot. Just above and to the left of the first toy is flashing, but also there was something at the feet of the toy was flashing.
Yes, I think there is a sound sensor there. Can you see that?
Okay, yeah, okay. No, that's cool. So that's
Cool.
probably just picking up on my voice as well coming through the speakers.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I'm going to turn my audio off to try and make it as simple as possible for you.
Where is Mark at the moment?
He's in the room we normally go and set up in.
Oh, yeah.
I see him now, I think.
So hard looking at this tiny little screen, looking to see if I can see any movement.
Do you remember last time we were here? You played with a teddy bear. I think it gave you a bit of a fright. It was a bit loud. Do you remember playing with a teddy bear that was sat in the chair in the corner just behind where my voice is coming from?
Something just automated somewhere.
Yeah, what's going off?
Yeah.
Like it's a doll, one of the animatronics, but everyone's away. Everyone's sort of not near any of them, so I'm trying to figure out which one it is.
There's also another voice coming through.
Yeah.
Here, it's just the one behind all the doors upstairs.
And then they fucking they were a little bit wild because my mum lives.
The ones with Mr. Smiley.
Yes, it's behind that. It's like a big door.
So she actually comes through the borders.
Well, that's interesting.
It was just moving. It's just behind all the doors with the smiley balls. That's someone coming up the stairs to it now.
Yeah, with a red torch.
Yeah. It was that doll behind it was just moving and dancing.
Whoever's on their phone, can they mute their phone? Because we can hear you on the live stream.
She's only like a kilometre. She's technically.
Mark, was that you that was just upstairs?
I'm upstairs now. Just upstairs now.
What? Which doll upstairs makes a noise?
It's the one at the stairs. It's at
Or
the
is
very
it on
top of the stairs.
is the one on the stairs, is it?
Yes.
Oh, there's one doll over there at the end.
Yeah.
So
One of them was like making a singing waving.
Yeah, like a.
but I think Gray went to investigate the stairs. So did you set that one off,
no.
Gray?
No, it was doing it before he came up.
No, not Mark. There's another one on the stairs, the fancy stairs, near the front door.
No, it's this one.
No, who was it? Gail who was saying that it was one by Mr. Smiley? There was a doll up there that was moving.
No, it's the doll. It's the one behind where Mr. Smiley is. It's the one you were just at the stairs, but it went off long before you came up. It was moving
there was no one up
side.
there.
No, there was nobody there.
No, there's absolutely nobody there.
Yeah.
Because I had that actual picture on my big screen. That's why I thought, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It's that one.
That's the one we can hear.
And you've got to touch that one before you go off, really.
So which one is it?
Which one? Yeah, can you
point
hear?
to which one it is?
Yeah, because
I'll take you over there.
that one goes off a lot.
Does it?
Yeah.
Where I'm confused now. Which doll are we?
You mean this one?
This one here.
Yes.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you? I thought it was okay. I'm looking at the wrong doll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where's that one?
So
Where's
that's
that
the
one?
doll near the bathroom.
Yeah.
Here's one about the bathroom. So with this one here, it's a touch sensitive one.
Yeah.
Okay, she's going off a lot. We can hear her, and Jill was saying she could see her
definitely.
moving side to side.
I saw her as soon as it went off. I saw her move, because we have that picture on our big screen. That's the only picture I'm looking at.
Because it's not what they want it to be. Yeah. It's hot. Well, it's hot. Sorry. Yeah. Got a cup of tea.
Actually, I'll see what happens when I tap the floor. Hang on. No. So you've got to physically actually touch it. No.
Alright. Here you go. Here's debunking in action. We try and activate it without
Did you touch it, or did you just go past it?
No, I
No,
touched
he
it.
touched it.
What about when you went downstairs, Mark?
Um,
Oh no, because you were down in that room
He was
that we
down in
set
that
up
room.
in. Yeah, no.
Do I have to tell you all the personal details?
Well, you gone potty.
I had a number one, thanks. Okay, so going past it.
Okay.
Yeah, cheers.
I was going to say go down and come back up even. But then you weren't there when it was going off.
No.
But that must have been because I was looking before and I thought I saw movement down there, but I was just saying to the
No, did
son-in-law.
I? Because
Yeah, but
I was
I-
looking.
Yeah,
And
but
again,
I
I was
thought,
going-
oh, did I or was I just seeing stuff?
I was just going, come on, Amy, stop focusing on that stupid doorway.
window,
Like,
yeah.
You're obsessed. You're obsessed with that doorway.
Yeah, and that's where I was looking as well, but I just didn't. Well done, Jill.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
All
You're
right.
asking if it's having live feeds.
Right. So are you going to stay up there, Mark, or are you going back downstairs
Oh,
now?
might as well, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
Patty likes that doll.
Maybe.
I don't think it's Patty.
Don't say that because you know what I think about that shadow person.
I know, but I don't think it's Patty.
Well, how
The
about
shadow person's not that bad. He just appears. He hasn't done anything horrible to anybody.
not yet?
I don't think he's
No.
going to do anything to
She
anybody.
stands there and stalks you. He just stares. He's like Michael Myers.
He's a lurker. He's just a lurker.
I'm sorry to add to this. Person in the bathroom upstairs is not friendly.
No.
I've gone up there several times and I've had to cut it short just because it was very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's
My first time I saw him, I felt the same.
invasive.
That's exactly
Very
what I said to
invasive.
Amy. I liked the bathroom, and then that happened, and I was just like, I don't like the feeling from that bathroom. Hey, Amy, that's
You know,
For me, it's a he, and he's creepy.
Mhm.
I remember going in there several times. Behind the shower curtain. I had to look to make sure that there was no one there.
Mm.
Whatever is in the bathroom upstairs is not pleasant.
Mm.
That gross bathroom.
I don't
Every
think it's
time.
like
Every time I've been in there, I know there's a presence in there, but it doesn't seem sinister. It just
Yeah.
wants to know that, hi,
What's happening, what we're
I'm
doing.
here. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
I would be the same if I was dead. If you were invading my house, I'd be like, what are all these people doing in here? Who are you doing? What are you doing?
I get
I
a
mean,
bit of
yeah.
intensity. I get just
He is
a-
creepy.
Yeah, I just get that he stands there and watches, and it's just that drives me to the point where I'm like, well, I don't know about you, because you know, with Patty, we get interaction. We get, well, we've got games. We had that with James. She was running up and downstairs between you, me, and him, all talking. But that bathroom, that first time I had it, I was just like the most uneasy feeling, and yeah, it's odd. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just a wary thing that's watching.
Do you remember
How did
the
you?
communication session we had here? And we were talking with Patty, and she said that there were other people here with her.
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah,
there.
she said the
we were
man.
there- Yeah, we were there, and Vicky was there from Napier Paranormal as well. And
How do we know that it's not just the same spirit messing with us?
you don't.
We don't.
We had a whole communication session with Patty, and Patty was turning a light on to answer yes. And so we asked a whole lot of questions, and that was the night that Patty actually spelled out alphabetically what her name was and told us that she was 9 years old. And we asked her, questions like if you were talking to a 9-year-old, did you like school? Did you like swimming and reading? And, and we said, did you like maths? And she said no. And I totally empathized.
Yeah.
And she said she had an older brother and bits and pieces like that. And then we also asked if anybody else was there. And she said yes. And she actually indicated there was a man stood behind Mark. So if you look in that screen that says Lake House Arts 2, there's a door there on the side. And Mark was literally sat right next to that door. And so, yeah. And so we didn't really know whether she meant, kind of at the time it felt creepy, like you're imagining the person stood right behind Mark's over his shoulder, kind of scary movie stuff. But Also, that person could have been stood up near the bathroom. That was behind Mark. Everybody else was on the other side. So you don't know. But like you say, we're very aware it may be just one spirit that is just playing with us and giving us random answers and telling us things because they're really bored and it's fun. I mean, I kind of think for me, if I was, you know, a spirit, I might sit and make all sorts of funny things to make fun of paranormal investigators who like to sit in the dark on a weekend when they could be hanging out with their mates. I mean, you know, who knows?
Yeah, sitting in closets, hey.
Yes, sitting in cupboards. Yeah. So I don't know, but it's interesting. So she's not gone off again since Mark's been up there, though.
Have any of you been in the cupboard underneath the fancy stairs?
No. No.
As
you're going up the back, as you go, are you talking about up the back stairs? There's that cupboard just on the left as you're going up.
Yeah, the fancy stairs. It's usually that's where I used to keep my tools and stuff by the front door.
Oh no,
it's the one that's always locked when we've gone there.
Can I ask a random question? All the cupboards that I've been into always have Christmas decorations. Christmas decorations on the stairs. Just that seems to be the standard.
They do with you, eh? They do.
The cupboard underneath the fancy stairs. If you guys can get in there, I used to keep my installation toolbox there, and I'm pretty sure that thing moved around a couple of times because I was the only one who had the key for a short period before Gray joined, and I would sometimes just shove the toolbox in there, and there was a couple of times that it was shoved deeper underneath the stairs where I would not necessarily have bothered. Just as a lead, I suppose, or if you guys ever wanted to, but underneath the stairs, the fancy stairs, that cupboard there could have something.
That sounds like a wonderful place to lock me in.
If we get the key, we can probably put a camera under there and maybe a voice recorded.
For everything.
Yes, Cal is saying I could do a solo under the stairs. Thanks, Cal.
Well, see, you can do the solo under the stairs, and I'll do the solo in the roof.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Bag's doing the solo on the toilet with the Shadow Man.
This is our social life, guys. This is what we do.
Welcome to our conversations.
I'm sorry to throw this off from the lake house because this is the most important. But have you guys, Carrington, have you guys ever done a stake out there?
Yep, we've done quite a bit of Carrington through the years.
Yeah, it's
usually get moved out though, so it's pretty much empty at the moment.
Yeah,
we can't get in there. We can't get in there.
My husband had a studio there for a while, and things were pretty fucking freaky.
Yeah, it's an interesting place.
It is a very interesting place. I know they're building apartments there, but there's going to be a lot of residents that did not buy and don't want to leave.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to try and carry on with our communication session, Mark, or what are your thoughts?
Up to you guys. You go for it.
Yeah.
I'd say keep going because it seems that doll was going when we were doing it then and no one was up there.
So I'll put you back down again.
So can we see that doll?
I'll make sure I'll adjust it so you can.
But we want to see everything else as well in case she turns a light on or something.
Right, I'll move that Eddie over there. How's that? Is that any better?
You can't see Mr. Smiley.
Oh.
That's fine.
That's all right. Because you'll be able to see her moving if she does.
So how did Jill get it so that particular screen was her big screen?
She would have
so I don't have it on gallery. I'm just going along the bottom, and every so often I'll just change the screen and make it into the big pictures. That's why I picked it up.
Ah, okay. I can pin it. Aha. That's good.
Right.
Yeah, that's good because you can see the doll behind, which is good.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, we don't need the red light, do we?
If you turn it off, what does it look like?
Maybe instead of getting her to turn the lights on or anything, see if she can set that doll off, Aimee.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right.
So are you just going to sit down, Mark, or are you going to head off?
Yeah, I'll sit down. Here you go. I'm sitting.
Just so we know where you are.
Yeah. And don't move around a lot, Mark. You know what you're like.
I don't do that.
Mm.
It's other people.
Mm.
So that little meter that you're looking at on that screen right now, you can see underneath it's got the 20.4, so that's just the temperature. Okay, so I am currently looking at the one labelled Mark Wallbank. That's the one I'm looking at. The Lake House Arts 2, though, Mark, where you are, you're blocking half the screen for people.
You're becoming the shadow man.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Right.
Okay, all right. Hello again. We've not been paying you much attention, I'm sorry. We noticed that you were going near the doll, up near the staircase. Would you be able to go near that again and let it off for us, so that make it move, so we know that you're there? Or you might want to come look at the dolls up near me, where my voice is coming from, up here with the little red light.
Yeah, the refrigerator's just turned off.
Cool. You don't need to be shy now that Mark is sitting there. He's not going to mind you being here. He's going to stay nice and still while you and I have a conversation. Is it you, Patty? Was it you who was here just before? Was it you?
Somebody downstairs.
Was that Gray?
Was that Gray? Where's Gray?
Somebody downstairs closing the door.
I can't see Gray on camera to know where he is.
Sorry, that was me.
Yes. It sounds like the wind's blowing very hard outside.
Mm.
Sorry, it was me.
That's all right.
Well, that sounded a bit odd. Sounds like the wind's blowing very hard outside. Sorry, that was me.
Right, what's going on now?
So it's very good that we know what the sounds are from outside, like the wind and Gray bumping around the bottom. So we can.
So did Gray go anywhere near those stairs?
Yeah.
Was he near those stairs?
Or if it wasn't Gray, is Patty coming up the stairs?
I was just wondering that if she's doing.
Because she does it. Yeah, she does her loop around the place.
So this doll, do you have to touch it?
Yeah, it's another touchy one.
Okay. All right.
Maybe just see if the others are going or anything, Mark, because if Patty's doing her loop, she could have been going up the stairs or down.
Well, I've got a whole lot of motion sensors going up and down the stairs leading up to the clown, and none of those have gone off. Oh, actually, no, sorry. See that? The one in front of the clown's gone off.
What's not what?
The light in front of the camera. There's one in front of the clown that's gone off. But that clown was moving.
Yeah, so that's
isn't that one in front of the clown sound activated? Isn't that what Gray just said?
No, that one's motion.
Ah.
That's the
yes.
But that clown was moving his arms and stuff, so he could have set that off.
No, true. That's really true.
That is true.
Yeah. But none of the other motion sensors went off.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Say go back to our spot and maybe Aimee see if you can call Patty over or get her to get that doll to go.
Yeah.
Okay. How's that?
So Patty, is that you coming up and down the stairs? Are you sneaking up behind us to have a sneaky look at what we're doing? That's quite clever. Do you think you could try and sneak up on Mark and see if you can touch him on the back, on his back? Do you think you could try that? Sneak up behind him so he doesn't see you and just tap him on the shoulder.
I should get a shot, shouldn't I, really?
Mm.
Possibly, right?
That'll do. You're going to have to let her get near your shoulder, though. It's no good if your shoulder's up against the wall. That's cheating, Mark.
Get her to tap your hat.
Oh, yes. So the camera's just trying to refocus at the moment.
Oh, is it trying to focus on the Nolita?
It's focusing now. It was trying to focus on something, but it's fine now.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Mm.
I was
I
just
think it's
saying,
just trying to accommodate for you being in the picture now.
Yeah.
I was just saying before, we had a problem the last time we were there. One of those motion sensors that we put on the stairs was on permanently with no one triggering it. So that may be the sensor that's on permanently that's been triggered. Well, not being triggered, I should say. It's just on. It's malfunctioned.
You're faulty.
Hasn't been on most of the night though, because we have seen that doll a few times.
No, not the doll.
No, I mean the clown, the light in front of the clown.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's been on most of the time.
Does anybody else watching have a question that they'd like to ask Patty or the spirit?
I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for gold.
So introduce yourself and then ask your question. Yeah.
I don't know if I need an introduction because if Patty is around, she would know who I am because I used to be there a lot.
Perfect.
But she can't see you.
Yeah.
That's why you might have to say who you are.
Just, yeah. I don't know.
Just to be polite.
Just to be polite. I don't know if it's Patty or if it's the man in the bathroom or the lady walking up the stairs, but I used to be there. Do you want to come and play? If you want to play, move something on the toys or give us some excitement. You remember when you opened the door? Opened and shut it just to scare me off? Walked up and down the stairs, had the lights throughout the gallery while I was installing paintings. Are any of you there? Just go up and touch somebody or maybe walk down the stairs again.
I don't know if you can hear that, but there is sound coming from the other side of that wall.
Is it like tapping?
Kind of, yeah. It could be the wind, it's a bit windy outside.
I thought it was great tapping on the keyboard or something. I've heard it a few times.
It sounds like it's from the outside of the door, but it's very windy outside, so I don't know. Push to the roof.
But we've been there on a windy night and it hasn't done that if it is. I just thought it was great tapping on a keyboard or something. That's
Are you playing hide and seek with us?
I may be getting a little bit overly excited, but I'm pretty sure I just saw a very brief shadow in the hallway downstairs outside the bathrooms.
There is grey at the bottom of the stairs. So
right.
his movement may be causing a shadow.
Could be.
Is somebody down there?
Yeah.
I'll have a look.
So it's interesting that that doll doesn't even go off when Mark walks right next to it. They've all gone downstairs now. You can play with the toys if you want.
Patty, if you're there, you should try and make the doll sing again.
Patty, if we do a seance from our house to try and call you, would you do anything?
I'm on mute. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to point out that during the conversation that you've just had in the last 15 minutes, there was one point where the Tyndall room activated again. And I don't know if anyone saw that, but we've been watching the Facebook feed in our isolation room that we have, and the Tyndall room activated again. I'm just going to go down and have a look at it. I've been having a break for the last 20 minutes. So I haven't been in any of the spaces, and my phone and everything, we haven't had any contact with any of what's been going on since you've been having the communications upstairs. But the Tyndall room seems to be a hot point because it's still activating sound while nothing is happening around it.
Yeah,
So,
I have watched the Tyndall room, but I haven't seen anything move. So
yeah. So I'm just I'm gonna just head down.
well, that's interesting because you're a lot further away from the first time you were doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure we don't feed back on the sound. Now, no
Did
one's
anybody
been down
accidentally
here.
kick the table to make that go off?
Yeah, he had to smack the table.
Yeah.
And before, I had to actually tap the doll to make it work.
Yeah.
So there's definitely something going on here, and I think if we can, we should try and measure it. Do let me know if there's feedback, if it gets really bad, okay?
Did that light come on when she moved before? Yeah, but did it go off when she went off and no one was there?
No, it didn't. I didn't see the light.
I haven't seen the light come on at all.
No. It's there's definitely something going on here. It takes a lot of force to make something happen in this room, so I just noted that because on Facebook with the live stream, it's the Zoom. Zoom is editing with sound, so it is bringing up screens for where the sound is activating. Now we only have 2 active cameras happening on all of the stationary videos. So one of them is in the Tyndall room and the other one is the upstairs. Those are the only 2 active microphones apart from the ones that Mark and I are using with our mobile phones. And the part of the reason is we're trying to really eliminate feedback when we go into different spaces, because that could be a big issue with what we're trying to achieve with our live stream. But also, I guess we just, I ran out of time to activate any other cameras, but it seems like Tyndall room is one that's really active, Mark. What do you reckon? Yeah, so far. And is upstairs happening? Have we had? I took a break, so I was just watching silently on the Facebook. Okay.
And a few taps and sounds up here.
Okay. So I think there was a question I did see, because on the Facebook we're getting subtitles as well. So I did see that there was a question about me, whether I was making tapping sounds. I did do some tap dancing after I saw that question, but not before. So I just want to be very clear about that. We were not making any tapping sounds or anything like that.
What about the clown on the stairs? Did you touch him at all, or go? Or does it go off when you go past?
We were in the isolation room, so we've got the cafe space, which is completely isolated. It's an independent space, and there are no cameras. There's nothing there. We're all just me being clear. Graham, our caretaker, I think I said at the beginning of the live stream, we have our caretaker Graham, who is our safety officer, and Natasha, who is our toi whakaaro. They are both in the cafe space, which is a completely isolated space with its own external access. They are in that space and may walk around and they may move, but we were all in that space together during that whole period, watching you guys doing the communications upstairs.
Just a question for the team, because I've only been to Lake's house twice. Have any of you been in the Tyndall room? Have we done anything in the Tyndall room? I don't think we've been in that room, because most of the rooms have been locked up.
We've been in the Tyndall room, but we haven't paid it much attention.
Yeah, it's probably good to clarify exactly how Lake House is laid out. So we have a lot of hallway space, which is like a horseshoe, which goes through the building. So you have an east wing, which I'll walk through to now. And, so we're just making sure that we're, sharing, trying to keep everybody safe here. But so this is the northeast entryway, which is called the Welsh entry. And this area, which is what I would say is the most paranormal activated place that I've experienced. So this is that space. This is our admin space. This is where the staff have their offices. And where I'm standing right now, if you're looking, you can look at the security camera, which is up there, I'm pointing. That has captured the big.
Alarm's going off. On the stairs, is that because you're working?
Well, that hasn't triggered anything.
Were you filming up the stairs, Carrington?
No, I'm not coming up the stairs at all. I'm just standing at the bottom of them.
Oh.
I'm literally standing meters away from them.
Can you go back where you were and wave your arm? Just to see if you set off again.
Yeah, I was also going to say, Mark, could you have set it off when you started to walk off? Because you sort of walked off and then it went off when you were.
No, Mark was nowhere near it.
I was upstairs.
Mark was nowhere near it. Yeah, this is exactly where it was. Exactly what I was doing. Well, that's pretty. So this is exactly where the major
What, Mark? Are you still upstairs?
I'm sitting at the top of the stairs now.
What's the light halfway down the hallway towards the second stairs? Is that a torch or something?
There'll be a torch, a white torch.
Right.
Yes, I think all of the lights are pretty much counted for. Yeah. The dancing clown, we have yet to account. Is it just like
it's motion sort of touch? Well, yes, yeah, touch sensor, right?
Okay.
I saw that happen.
Well, I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, it's awesome,
We that was like we just tried to make that work, and yeah. Okay, so this is what I was talking about a couple of days ago when I said I might get terrified, but here we are. So this doorway is the second vertigo experience that I had, which was walking through this doorway. The first one was at the end of the corridor coming out, and then the second one was here. So coming out of the corridor, I had a very serious vertigo experience, almost passed out, had to go and sit down for a little while and work that stuff out. So the timing of both those incidents, if we create a timeline for journalizing these paranormal incidents, was the first one at the end of the corridor, which we now call the Woodhouse studio, was maybe a month into me working here, which would be June 2017. Me coming out of what is now the Pianta studio into vertigo situation, that would have been probably October 2017. That would be right. And then a couple of weeks later, not very much later, we started to install security cameras. And when we installed the security cameras, it was on January 10th, 2018, that the first orb video from a security camera, we were alerted to the first orb video from a security camera, which happened. You can probably see me in the gallery camera right now. If you look, I'm in the Beecroft gallery. I'm just trying to illuminate the space a little bit more. I hope this is scaring you as much as it's scaring me. It happened right here. And it happened about midnight on between June the 10th and the 11th. I was alerted to a security camera footage of an orb flying through the space. Now, this is an interestingly significant time, I'd say, because I was in a hospital trying to support my lovely wife who was giving birth to our son at the time. And this was the first notification that we had of video footage of something paranormal happening in space. And it happened here in the Beecroft studio. And then after that, that is on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go to YouTube and you can find Lake House Arts Ghosts, you'll probably find it. But that was the first one. It's like January 10th, January 11th. It was, I was distracted, so I'm not entirely sure. You can imagine I showed my wife that video and she was not interested at the time. She was doing other things and said that I need to be focused on what we need to achieve. But that was the first one. So January 11th, 2018. So we ended up getting orb videos happening in the gallery. And the gallery itself, I think I'll just turn the light on. Trying to be, that's far too bright. Trying to be overly scary. So throughout the space, there were several videos which were orbs flying through. And I was really interested in trying to disprove these. And so, as well as the orb videos, we have videos of insects flying through the space, which are obviously very different because insects have wings and orbs don't. So
it actually depends on the perspective. If they're really close to the camera, you cannot see the wings of the insects. Things like spiders and things like that, you won't see the wings because they don't have wings.
Well, I would say go to the YouTube video, and you'll see that we've posted videos that have the insects as well as the orbs in the space. It's fascinating, absolutely fascinating to see. You see insects flying with orbs. Anyway, I understand you're trying to debunk it, but the orbs, they definitely were flowing through, I have to say. And I'm going to hold to that to the bitter end. But we do have bug videos as comparison, and we were very careful to do that because we did, obviously they could be bugs, but these were not only in the gallery. They started in the gallery, and then they started to go into this space, into the hallway space. So by every month, we started to see that the majority of the videos were in this space. And they were coming through the stairs and they were bouncing off the stairs. So you can see videos where you see it looks like footsteps bouncing down the stairs. And then you can see ones where they come down the hallway, and then they go down the hallway and go down the floor. There are other ones as well. And then what happens after that? We get to about late March, I think. I know the YouTube channel has all of that. We get to a point where one night, door bursts open. Slow closes, orbs coming through. Crazy. And then we get to the April 13th video where we have full spectral form coming up, coming to view the outlook, which was there at the time. It was not, which is here now. I'm going to turn this light on. Oh, no, we took all the lights off. Hold on. Can we? Yeah, there we go. Right. Was this artwork, which is an artwork of Lake House, where it originally was the original chimney. See that? See that chimney there? Right? That chimney is that chimney, which is also our donation box. We do accept donations. And the spectral image, which looked like, I have to call it, a woman in white, was sitting here looking at that artwork on the wall and flew across and down through the floor, up, around, down the hallway. We captured all of that on our infrared cameras. Now, the way this has moved, and I think I should screen share and play this pretty soon. The way that ghost moves is it's pretty much impossible to replicate because it is a beam of light, a cone of light moving through space independently. And if it's light, why does it not reflect on the walls? That's a really important point that has to be addressed. But that is something that that really is important. And yeah, okay, Spider's web? No, it's not Spider's web because we clean the place. But I appreciate it. If it was a spider's web in front of the camera, why does the motion sensor, which is independent of the camera, ring its alarm? That's a big question as well.
Where is the motion sensor, though, in relation to the camera?
Well, I can't actually. I have to tell you that we actually updated everything since then. We now have 2 analog cameras and 1 digital camera and a motion sensor. So I can't tell you exactly what the relationship was. And there's a Wi-Fi router up there that wasn't there at the time. So sorry, I'd have to go back into some photos I don't have access to at the moment to tell you exactly what the relationship of that technology was. But I can tell you it wasn't a spider's web because I came down and had a look the next day. There wasn't one. So unless spiders, gather up the webs, which I guess they could, but I don't think they did in this case. I'm gonna say I don't think it's a ghost. That's another thing that I want to kind of try to share with people, is that I think it was technically extra-dimensional. Now, a ghost could be extra-dimensional, you could say that, but I think that it was something that was cutting through three-dimensional reality, and it kind of feels like it doesn't, when you look at the video, it kind of feels like it's not a three-dimensional thing moving through space. It kind of feels like you're only seeing a cross-section of something. And I find that really fascinating. That's my take on it. And I think we should probably share that tonight. Screen share it as a part of the Zoom so that people can see it. But it all happened right here. And after that, there was really only one major incident that happened that I've been witness to, which was probably the most ghosty thing that happened. And I can't prove it at all, but I did see it on the video. On the security camera. Not this one. That's up here, but another one that was there. And that was that out here in the car park, you see, we have, I'm going to turn the camera around because I think it's probably better light. So you can see that the arrangement of the car park. And to this side, one evening, I saw a very tall, elderly gentleman. This made 10 o'clock at night. Cameras recorded this. Elderly gentleman, 2 children, dressed from 100 years ago, walking down that path. They get to there and they disappear. They reappear on that side of the path immediately, like nothing had happened. The time code is just 1 second later. They reappear there and they walk off. That was the last really paranormal thing that happened in terms of our security cameras in Lake House. And that one really got me. It sticks with me to this day in terms of what we actually captured. But that video, oh God, that video, I somehow, in my wonderful organization of what I do, I lost that video. So I cannot show any of you that video. But I can say I saw it and it happened. And that's what makes me a believer.
See, Mark, on the stairs, you see the sensor? That's been flashing the whole time. I think that sensor is faulty.
I think so. I think the battery's running out on it too.
Did you change it for this?
No, I didn't. No, it'll be one of those.
Because we had the same issue when we went through with Metro.
Yes. Yeah, it does flash. The other one's been quite nice. It's been pretty stable.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Is there one behind the doll at the front?
Yeah, that's the motion sensor one. It's still going through. Hang on, I might have it on the wrong setting. Hang on. Let me have a look. Oh, let's have it off.
Hello? Can you find me?
Now.
Hello? Can you find me?
Gosh, I feel like I'm at work listening to that.
Hello? Can you find me?
Okay. Good. Right. Okay, that motion sensor's gone off now. That one there, so it's gone off. If I go up to it, it should trigger it again. There it goes. Okay. I had it on the wrong setting, so it's been sitting on all right. Right. How are we doing for time? I can't see the time on my phone here. What's the time there?
11:08.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has Amy gone to bed?
No.
No, Amy's still there.
No, I'm here. I'm just on silent. I'm just scrolling through the cameras.
Oh, okay. How's your headache?
It's not great.
No. Have a sleep in the morning.
Yes.
It's the dedication.
Yeah. Very much appreciated. Couldn't do this by myself. Be pretty boring if I was here by myself.
We're not sure. Barb's just pointed out upstairs at the top of the stairs, the little clown that's pushed up against the door. We're not sure if it's just sort of
leaned over a bit more than normal.
Mm.
Oh, okay. I'll go have a look.
Or what?
Or I've been looking at it for too long.
Well, that was kind of that one there has been quite an active clown apparently. I don't think it's moved to me at all, but the family that gave it to me basically ended up throwing it against the wall.
Oh.
And so it's smashed its hand, it's got a broken finger and all that. But,
could be weighted.
Yeah, but they threw it against the wall. Actually, I've got a couple of dolls that were thrown against the wall. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, it kind of does have a bit of a lean to it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's sort of leaned a bit further over than normal. I'm like, that's not a good way to bend over.
Oh, of course. I forget what you're going on.
On camera.
No crack shots on live camera, eh?
Yeah, leave it for the team.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's why I just sort of quietly asked Amy if it looked like it had to her as well, or if I'd just been looking at it.
He's leaning on his hand now. So he's leaning on his hand. So he's resting on his hand. I think he was like this. I think he was like that.
I don't know. I can't see because you're in the way.
You need to look at the other camera angle.
You're not a window.
Yeah.
Wait, I've got to find your camera because I pinned that one.
Oh, so you're looking at the other one. Are you looking at my house then?
No. Well, yeah, but no. Hang on, I'm on your camera now. Yeah, that's how I thought I saw it at the start.
Well, I think from memory that's how I put it.
It could have been when you've been walking past it, slowly starting to.
Yeah, Cal says she thinks it's been on a lean for much of the night, so it probably
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, that's why I was like, have I been staring at it for too long?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it looked like that now, but didn't look like that at the start. Maybe it was just the camera's changed, you know, because it was in a different position before.
I've been walking up and down the floorboard, so it's possibly vibrating it.
Mm.
Maybe.
Gosh, we're making sure your are your lights blinking again? I thought you turned it off.
Which light?
On the stairwell, the fancy stairwell.
Is it?
Yeah, it's blinking again.
The one on the left-hand side?
Yeah, the one that that Tash said was faulty.
No, that was the middle one.
The blue one, yeah. Yeah, the blue one. That's battery's running.
Oh, I thought you turned that one off.
No, I did the motion sensor that's in front of the clown.
Oh.
Can I zoom? No. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's that motion sensor in front of the clown there.
Yeah, the one that's flashing next to Annabelle.
Oh, sound. Oh, the other one. The one between the legs.
No. The one next to her head, behind her on the step.
That one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that battery's running out on that one.
Sorry, when you guys were all talking about it, I was looking around all the other rooms, all the other cameras.
It's quite neat doing it this way, isn't it?
Yeah, I was actually looking for Patty, but thought maybe she was playing hide and seek.
Yeah.
I'm sure she wants us to chase her around the place sometimes.
I just love the fact that James Gilbert's seen that.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, jealous much, Aimee?
Any questions coming from anybody?
Not yet. Has anyone got any questions?
Is everybody still awake?
Bronwyn's asking why we've got scary dolls.
Trigger objects.
Because we like locking people in the closets with them.
Yeah.
It's just that Mark ends up getting given lots of these scary dolls.
Allegedly haunted.
Those are from Halloween stores and things. But, for those that missed it, these ones here are some of the haunted collection that we have. Have a room full of all these bits and pieces that have been given to us through the years. That one there, clown. He was thrown against the wall a few times because he kept being naughty, and the family were getting quite scared of him. This one here, I brought back from the UK. Her name's Edwina. And she belonged to a little girl that had cancer, and all her hair fell out. So her parents had this one custom made for her. She's all hand painted. She has no hair, but she comes with some little wigs. She has all these little wigs that come with her. And I called her Edwina. This one here, she's all snapped up as well. She's been thrown against the wall. Apparently very active. Oh, I need some light. Crawling around on my knees here. Yeah, this little one in the centre here, she's been all smashed up. She's a porcelain doll. And it's another one. None of them seem to move for me though. It's smiling the trigger object more. I thought we'd bring them out of the house for today since it's Halloween and give them a bit of an adventure. Is anybody upstairs with me right now? Would anybody like to come and play with me? voice downstairs. I think it's grey.
Was that you banging before? There was like 2 like knocks or bangs.
As in, what, seconds ago? Or?
Yeah, just before you said, "Oh, it sounds like grey downstairs."
Possibly me with the floorboards.
Yeah, I think he was moving at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I took a couple of steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a few creaky floorboards here. Right there. Plus the wind's blowing pretty hard outside, so a few creaks. Oh. Toilet filling up. Oh. In from these rooms. Is anybody down here? Anybody in this room? What was this room before it became a toilet? Tiny little room. It's got a shower, toilet, but it looks like it's been built on. Sort of been added in. Looks like they've built a toilet. It's a very small bathroom, but the doors are so thin. They're not the usual door. It's a very thin doorway.
Mark, Cal wants to know if you have a voice recorder. Have you got one going? No, not tonight.
I've got video cameras going. I use them. Well, it's been an interesting night.
Do you think it's worth going downstairs to the Tyndall room, Mark, and sitting down there and trying to do a communication?
Yep, okay.
Maybe?
Yep.
And then we can keep monitoring up here, see if anything happens while you're gone, but
okay.
Just since that animatronic was set off.
Okay. Let's adjust this. So you want me to go down to the Tinder room and just leave you guys up here with this?
Yeah, well, if you go to the Tyndall room, try and do a communication down there, and we can just be sort of observing as well up here, just to see if anything happens.
So take my own phone with me?
Yeah, because we can see up here with the Lake House Arts 2 camera. So if you take your camera down to the Tyndall room,
all right.
We can still see this whole hallway and that doll at the end.
Okay. Yeah. Good workout tonight. Oh, bright light. Bright light. Okay. Yeah. Sit down. Okay, the motion sensor hasn't gone off. How's that? Is there anybody in this room with me tonight? Anybody downstairs here? I would really like to talk with anybody that might be here with me tonight. Come and say hello. Hey, let's bring you in the room.
So keep the motion.
Yeah.
Motion to
That's done.
We have this very interesting space, and I did a live stream from this afternoon, and when I reviewed it, the thing that really got me, and I went, something's going on, was the light.
Okay.
And the line just really hit me while I was watching the live stream. And I wonder if that wood has something imbued in it that's just got, it's just radiating a little bit. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful piece. If there are energies in this room, there must be feedback. If there are energies in this room, give us a shout. We've been having a discussion in a safe place about the way that Coley can amplify energy. And we really do think that it's something to do with the way the bones are laid, the way the wood is kind of constructed, gives the space an opportunity to kind of create. And maybe that's where, the spark of artistic creativity comes from as well. Maybe there is something that comes out of youth, and I know a lot of artists think that there's something that comes out of nothing, or it goes into a zone which is beyond the kind of physical realm. Sometimes there are complete creations that arrive, sometimes they construct themselves into space, and people visit. I think we're very fortunate to have an old building that has been saved and preserved to its bones, that is able to amplify creation of art, whether that's through people, or whether it just kind of happens. Sometimes the others just kind of happens. That's one of the things I'm very grateful for.
But it's really, definitely does have a vibe. Doesn't it? It definitely has a vibe. You can, I mean, I'm not a sensitive person, but I can feel it.
Bronwyn's asked on Facebook if any activity occurs during the day.
Well, those activities I was talking about, where I felt the vertigo and the disorientation, those two activities, they happen like midday through the day. So, yeah. But, yeah, so that's my experience with that. Other than that, I think largely your experience through the day. Another night.
She's still there.
She's yeah. And I know that Maggie, who runs our cafe with Lee, their experience of lady white on the stairs, she saw them communicating with. They happened during the day as well.
So, were you talking about me? I checked out there for a second.
Oh, no, I was just saying, was your experience during the day? Have you had your experience with the lady at the seas?
Yeah, it was mornings when I would open up. There was an afternoon one, and then there was an evening one. There was one time when the alarms went off, and I had to go in the evening, which was pretty heavy.
Right. Yeah, I had a very scary experience. I don't think it was that scary, but I was freaked out. I was absolutely freaked out. And that was the alarms had not been set in the building, so I had to come down at 9 o'clock at night. And it was very dark. And the lights were still on. It was one of our evening hours. And turned the lights off. Hadn't set the alarm, so you've got to, you have to come and look after the place, right? So I came down, and the light was on. It was right in the middle of the building. So light that's in the space that all of the toilets in the centre of the building are connected to. So I came in through the house and down the corridor, came around to that space to turn the light off. And before I turned the light off, a whole bunch of children laughed. And I just ran as fast as I could out of the space and set the alarm, made sure it was good, got out of there as fast as I could, and I was out of there. And that would have been, that was probably March 2018, so it was before the big spectral image video. Yeah, it was.
I never experienced any children. There was definitely the woman that came down the stairs and the man in the bathroom, and then just movements of things around, like in the storage cupboard underneath the fancy staircase. My toolbox moved around, and also in the main gallery when I was doing an install, things moved around because sometimes I would just go in there alone on a Sunday to do an install, paint walls and put up some artwork. I think that was before you were there, Gray. And while I was there alone, like buckets of paint and toolboxes would move around. And that would have been on probably Sundays.
Yeah, I think that it was interesting to hear children. I don't think that the experience now I can reflect on it. It wasn't trying to scare me. try being the only person in the building, and then you get it done. And it's pretty yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't know how. I don't know how ghosts move with buildings. Whether there's any history of that. Whether the house inherited ghosts from the land, or whether ghosts might have moved with the building. Anyone, what do people think about that?
We've been doing a seance here. That's why I kind of checked out for a little bit, just for getting into the spirit of things.
Cal's asked if we could do a Ouija board.
I haven't brought one today.
Really?
I know. Next time.
Sorry, Cal.
Tell us about your seance, Lally.
Oh, our seance tonight, we met Jeff, who just we asked if we can connect with you guys over at the lake house, and he just basically told us to FUCK it. But we've had experiences with seances where we connected to the living, strangely enough. So I think it's often just energies that gets diverted your way. Do I need to repeat myself? I don't like that. No, we've had experiences where we've contacted the living.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about that psycho the other day. Sorry.
So when you've contacted the living, who have you contacted?
Oh, it was strange situations when certain people had directed energy towards us, and they would spell out things that only one of us would know, and then we would hear from them in the following week, or the person was directed to would hear from that particular person.
Okay.
Like my ex.
Okay.
Not being specific.
We're not going to be specific. So we did a seance once, and his ex reached out, and then a couple of weeks later, she actually contacted him, and things came up in the seance which were things that only they would have known.
Okay.
So is that like a temporal kind of, like a temporal connection? It was like something happening through time, rather than everybody in the space connecting. It was like happening through space and through time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that flickering over there, bud?
What's weird?
Out in the distance.
Something way over.
Probably a copper. Yeah, other seances we connected. Actually, I will tell, if you want to hear a ghost story, I will tell you the best one we've had living in this house. My daughter, who's now 10 years old, she was 9 at the time. I was cooking up dinner in the kitchen, just at that doorway over there. And she said, "Mummy, there's a man standing there. His name is Alan, and he's dressed in a pinstripe suit, but with shorts, and he's got big curly hair." And I very calmly asked her, "So what does Alan do? Have you seen him before?" She's like, "Yes, Mummy, he looks over me when I sleep, and his sister plays with my dolls in the cupboard at night." And I tried not to make a deal out of it because she was very calm about it. She told me about Alan, and he's a poet. And we've had other disturbances around our house. And the one night we got one of our neighbors over for a get-together. And I asked her if she knew the people who lived here before, because she had lived in the neighborhood for such a long time. And she said, yes, there was a family who lived here. And I asked her if there was a young man called Alan who lived here. And she went white and said, "How do you know about Alan?" And I said Irene had seen him in her bedroom. And apparently Alan died on our road and he was hit by a bus. And he was a cross-dresser as well in the 80s. And I checked this out on council, and there was an Alan who died on our road who was hit by a bus.
Wow.
Yeah, that's for real.
That was for real. And my daughter is constantly talking, not so much anymore, but when we first moved in, about the boy who dresses up in fancy clothes and takes care of her.
Quite cool.
Tell her to tell Alan that like that. She's doing it well.
Right, I think we're running out of time now. What's the time now?
20 to 12.
22. Okay. So last questions, everybody. Would anyone like us to do anything? Say anything? Try anything?
Yeah,
I might have the camera.
Are you staying on after for a little bit longer, Mark?
No. Hell
No?
no. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Can't you tell? If you guys are in here, I'll be asleep in a corner somewhere.
Next time you do this, I am totally coming.
You're more than welcome.
I always wonder if I should join your team.
Well, you're more than welcome to come along and, so especially when we come here. You know the place better than we would, so.
Yeah, I know the place very well. And then another place, I know it's closed off now, but Carrington is rife.
Yep, I know that.
Yeah. Carrington is rife with things happening. I saw something very, very clearly there the one day I went into the Carrington cells where my husband had his studio, and there was a woman standing there in one of the cells.
We've done quite a few investigations there, but now Unity have moved out, so the building's just sitting there empty now. So
exactly.
I've been trying my luck, but I'm not having much luck getting through to the right people at the moment.
We can reach through to the right people.
No,
I still need to get back into those tunnels though.
They become
Nazis.
Yeah, you can't get them there at all.
I reckon a big seance at the lake house.
Carrington will be so good.
Oh, when all these lockdowns finish we can do a public event and we can have a massive seance. Yeah, table. It's perfect for it.
What do you do in your seance?
We have our board, and we ask if anybody is around who would like to talk to us. We like talking to our regulars like Alan, and
Alan came up when we.
Alan's come up and Rick has come up. Rick was a glazier?
Class.
Yeah, a glazier, and it did turn out that our house was apparently where Birkenhead glass used to be. So we just ask them questions and see what they come up with. Well, we had a US veteran once, but that was back at the church.
Oh, that was him.
Was that here?
Yeah.
One of the freakiest seance experiences that we had was I got pushed over twice.
Oh,
whereabouts? Like where were you when you...
Oh, we were just in our kitchen. We've got our kitchen table set up with candles and things like that, and we were asking if anybody was around, and then I got shoved over onto the floor there twice.
I was like, what are you doing? And then, it was very peculiar. Very peculiar.
Toby gets a little girl who we think is the girl who plays with my daughter's dolls in her cupboard.
It sounds nuts.
We sound like absolute fucking nutties.
But yeah, there has been things in the house. Yeah.
So the little girl will come up to him and shove him.
Oh. And the floor by the end of my bed by my feet kept happening. Like and I would think it was your daughter, and she would just keep wandering in and pushing the end of the bed. And sometimes it will wake me from my sleep, but it was always the same thing, same sensation. No. I think you saw it too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did
You heard it,
experience.
you heard it.
Yeah, I was getting dressed upstairs one day and I thought I heard my daughter come up and I was like, hello, miss, like I usually do. And Toby asked me, who are you talking to? And I said, Irene. And Irene was downstairs and I was pretty sure I heard her wander up the way that she usually does.
Same area.
So, sorry, can I just interrupt for a moment? Is anyone on the Lake House Arts 2 camera?
Yeah,
Amy, are you on there?
Yeah.
Do you think it's gotten a bit darker in the middle?
It is quite dark up there.
But it's sort of gotten darker in that middle. Like before I could see the tops of those dolls really well. Now I can't see that. Yeah. I can't hear anything that you just said. It was all echoey. Yeah.
Even the Eddie you can't really read anymore.
Nah, it's just got real dark up there all of a sudden.
Almost the top of the door frame looks a bit fuzzy on my camera. I don't know.
Yeah. But can you see where that poster is in the middle?
Yes.
I thought I could see like movement in the picture area before it went all dark.
Okay.
But I was just like trying to see if it was just the bandwidth or something on the computer or on the camera.
Put it up on my bigger screen and have a look.
See, I've had it on big screen the whole time. That's why I can't.
Yeah, I've had it on my laptop, but not on my main monitor. So here comes Mark.
Well, torch is still going.
Yeah, the torch is still going, but it's between the torch and the dolls. That whole area just got real dark.
Could
like
the torch be running out of battery? And not
could be. Yeah, could be. See where you are, Mark, where you just came through, that area, you could see the dolls, but you can't see them anymore, not as well. The Edie, you can't even see now. You could see it quite well before. The pop light's starting to disappear a bit. Yeah, see that last doll, you can't even see her in there now.
I don't know. I don't know why that's like that.
Yeah.
But that picture that's on the wall to the right, I thought I could see like movement in the picture frame on the wall.
These pictures here?
Yeah. I was sort of like, I thought I could see something moving in there, or if it was just the bandwidth. That's why I was trying to really have a look. But
like, was it a reflection or was it like?
It was like a reflection, like a person moving.
The legend of the woman in white is that you can only see her in reflections from the. Yeah, really.
Who's the woman? I didn't know there was a woman in white story.
There was. James Gilbert saw one walk down the stairs, but it wasn't a reflection.
Yeah. But he said it was.
He saw like a mist.
Yeah, it was an apparition.
Yeah, he saw a mist in there.
And that's the April 13th. The big video is the woman in white, but the legend was always that you saw the woman in white in the reflections of the artwork, the glass that was in front of the artwork. You always saw the woman in white.
You know, down the end of the hallway where you've got the switches to vent the gas from the rubbish dump, the methane? Yeah. There's a big mirror on that wall. Has anyone seen anything in that?
I've seen a rather portly gentleman who's in his middle age. Could probably use a haircut. But apart from that, no, I haven't. And I have looked. Not gonna lie. I have thought that might be a place to find that woman in white, but to be honest, the only time I've seen or thought I saw that woman in white was right here in this space, was rising up through the floor, seeing that artwork, rising down again. I mean, you look at that video, it's 45 minutes. Well, it's 27 minutes, but it's over 45 minutes. So it's a video that captures all of that motion. But, you know, it just looks like a woman in white. Back in the Beecroft.
Mark,
You?
you know when you were upstairs?
I am still upstairs now, yeah.
Okay. Can you just shine your torch or phone or whatever just down the hallway? So it sort of lights up a bit?
What's that?
Can you keep going a bit further closer? See, because there's a shadow casting on the wall down the bottom part on the right wall. Yeah. But I'm trying to figure out what's casting it. But I can't see anything.
Yeah, to the left of
To the left.
door. There's something, it's a fire extinguisher, isn't it, on the wall?
It's your right. Oh, yeah, there's a fire. Yeah, but see how far down's that?
That's
It's in
quite
between.
far.
It's just near the kitchen.
Yeah, it's opposite the kitchen.
Yes, the
It's
kitchen
about
there.
And
halfway down the hallway.
go down to the fire extinguisher, Mark.
Yeah.
Are you next to it? Can you put your arm up or wave your arm around or something? If you look on the, not you, Mark, stay where you like.
Yeah.
Okay, you've just go back closer to the fire extinguisher. As close as you can get to it. And if you guys look to the left of the wall where that poster is, not you, Mark, don't turn around or anything.
Yeah.
If you look down the bottom part of the wall near the door, you can see something like a shadow casting over. If you can see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's yeah. But where Mark is, if that was the fire extinguisher, wouldn't you see all of Mark's shadow? See, that shadow hasn't changed.
You mean the shadow that's in front of the doll?
No. It's the shadow where the poster is on the wall that I said I saw the movement in.
Yeah.
Down the bottom and to
down
the left of
underneath.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a shadow being cast there, but I can't figure out what's casting that shadow. And if it was the fire extinguisher, you would have like taken that shadow away, but you can still see it.
It's like a very soft shadow.
Yeah, but it's a distinct hunch shadow, like it's sort of like, oh my women. Figure out, it's like a hunch, like that type thing.
Yeah.
Could it be the resolution on the camera?
Around the corner.
Could be.
The slow
It
entrance.
could
there,
just
right?
be
Even
that distance from the
bandwidth.
camera, the light is not enough anymore.
Yeah.
Even the bandwidth or something.
Because is this an infrared camera you've got on, or is it just a normal camera?
The normal camera, isn't it?
It's just my normal phone.
Oh, back where the dolls are.
The camera we're looking through, the
Yeah.
Lake House camera.
Lake House Arts too.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just no, that's not infrared.
Yeah. I'd say that shadow's lack of light, and it can't resolve that part of the image because it's flickering, right?
No, it's not flickering. It's being solid.
I can see it flickering on mine.
Oh, no, I don't have flickering. I just have a solid, roundish type shadow there.
Yeah. I think it's just the camera because it's not infrared. It can't resolve it. There's not enough light.
I was seeing a shadow figure coming down the hallway towards me.
See, grey coming down is making that whole wall part disappear, eh? So I wonder if that torch is bouncing off something down there, or if it's the toilet light. What's sticking out over there by that door? Is that the bench?
He'll be back.
On the left.
It's the Lowell's arm, I think.
No, where Grey is.
Yeah, that's the kitchen bench.
I wonder if it's that.
Yeah. I'll go closer.
You could turn the light on and we could see what's there.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
Oh,
We
well,
can't
that's sweet
afford
about
lights
turning the light on,
in here.
Natasha.
Just
Where's
for a
the front of that?
second.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mr.
Yeah.
Shadow
If
Man
you
will
want
show up when he
lights,
feels
then
like it.
Go to our Patreon page.
See, now, if you, the ones that are looking at through the camera,
You can still see the shadow on the
you
ground.
can, yeah, but if you look at the shadow, the poster on the wall, you can see the movement that Grey and Mark are doing on it. That's
Yeah.
what I was seeing before it started going a bit dark up there. That's when I was just like trying to figure out if it was the resolution or the Aimee,
now
like Tash was saying,
that poster now there's got a shadow in the middle of it.
yeah. And is it Grey that's there? If he moves, it'll move with him. Yeah, see? And that's what I was seeing, but nobody was up there.
Yeah, no, Graham is still here.
Might be moving the chairs on the ground.
Sorry, we got distracted by Grey being free.
Yeah, I think Tash might be right. It could just be the not being able to distinguish what it is.
All right. Well, whilst you guys are looking at shadows on walls, I'm going to love you and leave you and head off to bed. So.
Thanks, Amy.
All right. See you
You've done
guys.
very well.
Bye, Ames.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Okay, we all sign off, actually. We'll sign off.
We'll sign off on the same
Yeah, okay. Oh, George Brown. I don't know, okay.
No,
okay.
you're the sound person.
All right. How's that? There
Yeah,
you go. We're going to sign off now, guys. So thank you very much.
Yes. Safely distanced, as the ghosts have been.
Very. Bye, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the welcome. Thank you for joining me. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone that joined us tonight. Great having you along.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. This is the first time anybody, I think, has really tried to do something on this scale. I really appreciate everybody's input, and yeah, we found some stuff, I think.
Mm.
It's been quite neat. It's been a good session, I think. Well done.
That's good.
So we might post a few photos. I took a few here and there, a few sneaky ones. And did you push the report?
We definitely have some form of recording in some space. And if we don't, then we'll definitely do a seance and full of all.
Yeah, so when we get that lockdown, we'll organise a big seance for everybody come along. We'll have a big party. It'll be great.
Yes.
And we'll do a public event, and you guys come and investigate with us, and yeah, we'll find some answers to our questions.
Yeah, it's much appreciated, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah. Go find
Bye,
some
guys.
paranormal people and give them a hug.
Hug your local paranormal investigator today. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
So,
Bye.
oh shit. I'm gonna go and turn everything off.
Oh, you're going to get down there, are you?
Oh, it's
You're tripping over. You're tripping
I
over.
won't trip over.
Right.
Right.
This is the dramatic finish.
Oh, Grace going to make it go downstairs.
That's so good.
It's all right. Mark can do a little jig while we watch.
Oh, man, they get to the...
Oh, shit.
Oh, go. Oh, please.
Oh, no.
Oh, nothing. Right, I think I want to stop this time. See you guys.
Drive safe.